Stars for Stars legend, wait for it, Dairy Learner Show. Brought to you by the amazing Mrs. Smith.
Good morning. How are you today? I just want to start off. Remember how I always want to start off. I miss you so much. And I hope that I get to see you all on our Google Hangouts later. So, this is my second attempt at making this today. So, we're going to go ahead and get started so I can make sure that we get done in time before my Screencastify says that I have no room to record any more videos. So let's go ahead and get started. And these problems today are a mixed practice problems where we have to find beginning time, elapsed time, or stopping time. Now, just like we did the other day, I want to go ahead and get these on two screens so that we can see them. And you'll see now, because this is, remember I said my second attempt, I've actually already done these. So we're going to go through just a couple of different kinds of problems, but I'm going to show you all the work so that you can check yours to make sure. All right? So when I go to the next one, if you're not done yet, just pause the video and then check and see if you make sure that you got your answer correct. All right, so let's go ahead and start. And it says it takes Maggie 45 minutes to get ready for school. She lives 30 minutes from school. If school begins at 8 a.m., what is the latest time Maggie should begin getting ready for school? Now, I put it here as my stopping time. Why? Let's think about it. Because it says that school begins at 8. And I'm trying to look and see like what time she needs to get up really, because it's asking me what is the latest time Maggie should begin getting ready for school. So what time would she have to get up if she's setting her alarm? That's what time I'm trying to figure out. So I know that even though it says school begins at 8, that's not my beginning time because that's what time she wants to be there. She doesn't want to be late for school. Imagine if she was late and she missed like Mrs. Smith math class. She'd be pretty upset, right? So we know that we're given our stopping time, which is 8, because that's what time school starts. And then it says takes her 45 minutes to get ready, and then she lives 30 minutes from school. So think about why I would add these together. Why would I add these? If it takes her 45 minutes to get ready and takes her 30 minutes to get to school, I have to make sure that I incorporate both of those. I need to add them together, right? So when I add them together, I get 75 minutes. 75 minutes. Now I could add minutes, but there's an easier way because in that 75, we know that 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So if I have 75 minutes, I have at least 1 hour in there. And when I take that 60 out of 75, when I take that hour out of there, I'm left with 15 minutes. So my elapsed time, my elapsed time is 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now, this is still information that I'm given in my problem because I'm trying to find out what time she needs to begin getting ready. So this is what I'm trying to find out. I set up my best chart and I start here at my stopping time because I'm going to be going back in time, remember? Because we don't go forward and add our time. We need to subtract that time because we need to know what is 1 hour before 8 o'clock. What is the hour before 8 o'clock? Great, it's 7 o'clock. Then when I'm at 7, I need to go back 15 minutes. Now think about that. When we hit 7 o'clock, where should my hour hand be if I'm trying to go 15 minutes before it? Am I still going to be in the 7 o'clock hour? No, I'm going to be in the hour before 7, which is 6. And 15 minutes before 7 is 45. So my time would be 6:45. So she would need to be up by 6:45. Now I can match my answer that I got to the answer choices. You'll notice that I didn't look at the answer choices first. I went ahead and solved it. Now I can compare that to the answer choices, and I see that my answer is B. Remember, you should always have a title at your paper. Make sure you're numbering them and keep it organized. All right. Next one. Lance practices football every Saturday for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Practice starts at 9:15. Which clock shows the time when football practice ends? So, the first thing I should be doing, that you should be doing, that I hope that you're doing, is setting up this best chart. Remember when we set it up in the very beginning, we just write it out like this, and it's to organize our thoughts. So as we're reading this, and we can go back through it, as we're reading this, we can fill in the information to later do our best chart. So when I look at it, it says he practices football every Saturday for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Practice starts at 9:15, and we want to know when it ends. So it tells me practice begins 9:15 and it lasts. That means from beginning to end, practice is 3 hours and 15 minutes. So what I really want to know is what is 3 hours and 15 minutes after 9:15? So now are we going to be adding our time or subtracting our time? Are we going backwards in time to see when an event started? Or are we going forward in time to see when it ended? Great job. We're going forward in time to see when it ends. So when I fill it out, I start here because I'm given my beginning time. So I write it under my beginning time column. And what I went ahead and did, I could have added 1 hour. If I added 1 hour to this, what is 1 hour after the 9 o'clock hour? Very good, 10. But then I was like, okay, I can go ahead and add 3 hours. Because see, this is why if you don't have a clock right on hand, it's really good to have one. All right, so now look at this. I want to go and know what 3 hours after 9 o'clock is. Well, I know that once the minute hand goes all the way around, it's gone around 60 minutes, and now we're at the next hour. So remember, if I added 1 hour, it'd be 10 o'clock. But I need to keep going. I think I can add 3 hours. There's adding 2 hours. Now the minute hand goes around a third time completely. And what time is it? 12. Just like if I were to add 9 plus 3. 9, then the next hour is 10, 11, 12. Get it? If we start at 9, the next hour is 10, 11, 12. So my time, if I add 3 hours, if I go forward 3 hours, would be 12:15 because my minutes didn't change. Then I need to go 15 more minutes to equal what my elapsed time says. So 12:15, if I add 15 minutes, my stopping time is 12:30. That means he stops practice at 12:30. Now I need to look at the clocks, and I have to be able to read a clock and see which of those clocks match and says 12:30. If we look at A, think about 12:30. Where would your hour hand be? The hour hand would be in the 12s room, right? Look at A. An hour hand is that shorthand, remember? Where is that hour hand? It's still in the 9s room. Is that what we're looking for? No. Look at B. Where's that hour hand? Is it in the 12s room? Yes. So B is a possibility. We'll go on. Look at C. Hour hand is at the 12. It's in the 12s room. What? I can see you yelling at me going, Miss Smith, that's not right. That's not right. Why not? It's not the hour hand in the 12s room. What hand is that? That's the long hand, and the long hand is the minute hand. The hour hand is actually pointing in the what? At the 6, so that means it is 6 o'clock. So that can't be a choice. Look at D. Is that hour hand in the 12s room yet? Has it hit 12 o'clock yet? No, it's really close, but it's not in that 12s room. So that can't be an answer choice. So my only one is B, and I want to make sure. So we know the hour hand should be pointing to the 12. Where should my minute hand be pointing to? If we're talking about 12:30, I know that 30 is half of 60. So this is a half of an hour. Where is half of the clock? My minute hand is pointing to the 6. That is half an hour because that is 30 minutes. It is half of a whole hour. So my answer choice is B. All right, let's go to the next one. You're doing great, boys and girls. See, if you just do everyone the same, you organize your thoughts, and then you write them down, just like we've been doing. You show your work, and it helps stay organized, especially while we're just learning this time. Okay, so this one again, we're going to start with our best so we can organize our information. The rodeo starts at 1:45. Oh, I must have missed one, boys and girls. Okay, sorry. Thought I had missed one. Okay, so right here. The rodeo starts at 1:45. It lasts 3 hours and 20 minutes. Hold on, boys and girls, because they had switched, and I don't want you to get confused. So let's go back. This one is number 3. Now, this one is a little different. It says Jenna and her mother bake cookies from 6:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. So I start with my best chart, organize our thoughts, and we want to find out how long. So if we're talking about how long the cookies until beginning to end, we're looking at how much time passed. So we're looking for, great job, elapsed time. So if she bakes them or she puts them in, she starts them at 6:30 a.m. and they are done at 9 a.m. Okay, so I go over here, I start at 6:30. And this is what we're trying to figure out. So let's see if I was right before. We're going to check me now, okay? So 6:30. If I add 1 hour, go forward 1 hour, because remember 9 a.m., if this is 6:30 a.m. and this is 9 a.m., 9 is after 6, correct? So we know that we're going forward in time. We're not going backwards. We're trying to figure out how long it lasted. So go forward 1 hour is 7:30. I'm not quite to my stopping time yet. And I know that if I add another hour, the hour after 7 is 8. And then the minutes don't change. So it's stay 30. So it's 8:30. That's still before 9. Now, if it's 8:30, I can't add another hour because that would be what time? Great job. 9:30, that's over my time. That's past my time. So, but I know that 30 minutes is half of an hour, and half of an hour is, if I add half of an hour to half of an hour, we add 1 whole hour, so now we're at 9 o'clock. See? We're at half of an hour. 8:30 is halfway to 9 o'clock. Now, we've hit our stopping time, they match, and our starting time. So now I just need to add these and figure out that elapsed time, how much time passed. So I add my hours first in 2 hours and 30 minutes. Now I can look at my answer choices and I match them up. And my answer choice that matches is A. Now, we have done one of each kind of the problems where we had to find beginning time, where we had to find our stopping time, and where we had to find the elapsed time. Now, for the next few, 4 through 8, this is where that I told you at the beginning of the video that you can pause the video because I want you to try and work it out first, and then you can look and see if your answer matches mine. Remember, you have an assessment today on SchoolNet, so you need to make sure that you're understanding this. And if not, we can meet before you take your test. All right, number 4. This is the time to pause if you have not yet completed it. So go ahead and pause me. Okay. Okay. Now, number 5. This is the time to pause me so that you can have a minute to work it out and then see if you got the correct answer. And it looks like our elapsed time was 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is B. Doing a great job. I want to go ahead because if you can hear me, obviously you're not going to pause me for a minute. And before we go to the next one, I want to go ahead and tell you. So, I don't know if it's because today is my birthday or because I really want you to watch these videos or really show your work in order to make sure that you're doing your best. But what I want you to do is get on at least one time during our office hours and let me know your favorite part of this video. And then I want you to tell me your favorite dinosaur. That's how I'll know that you watched the video. And Monday, when we have our video, I will tell you what each of you that did this get. You can get a little something special. So, all right, this is the time. We're going to go to the next one. Go ahead and pause me. Well, hold on. This is the time. Go ahead and pause me before I put up number 6. Now you'll see this one was similar to before, where I needed to find, because I wanted to find the latest time that he could start to do these. Kind of like when we were going to school. Now he wants to go to practice, but he has things he has to do, and he has to finish his homework and clean his room before he goes to practice. So I needed to add those two together when I did have 75 minutes. Now I could sit there and add 75 minutes, but we know that in that 75 minutes, there's an hour. And an hour is a lot easier to count than 60 minutes or 75 minutes, correct? Right? Ooh. Okay, number 7. We're almost done, boys and girls. You're doing a great job. Ooh. This is the time to pause me. Organize your thoughts. Show your work. Do your best. Okay. And last one, boys and girls. Until you take your test. This one, I had started to organize my thoughts, you'll see. And then I said, they're just asking me to show what 15 minutes after 10 is. So what they're looking for is 15 minutes after 10 o'clock. Pause me if you need just another minute to look at the answers. And answer choice is A. Great job, boys and girls. I'm so proud of you. We have hit the end of our practice problems. You will see here is your code on SchoolNet to take your assessment today. And then below, I put yesterday's slides just in case you needed to remember them. But remember, we did those yesterday. You can always go back and watch the video. I also added, this is a special day. It must be my birthday or something because today we get to talk about Earth, which I hope you know Earth very well. So, as you learn today, we're going to learn about Earth and Moon. We're going to start talking about those on Monday because those are the really cool ones that we care a lot about, right? Because that's where we live every day. We know the most about it. But I did go ahead and include the slides and your readings, including the questions. I went ahead and put them on there. So if you want to go ahead and do them, that is fine. When you go to Google Classroom, boys and girls, and here's one, I want to make sure, this is why we want to make sure that everyone is going to Google Classroom and you are doing what you're supposed to do. Because we give you instructions on Google Classroom that tells you everything that you need. I tell you that you don't have to do those slides. Like, you don't have to write in them and turn them in. The only thing you have to turn in is that independent classwork Google form. Unless I tell you to specifically write in those forms, like the ones that we're doing for science right now. Here's the code for today's SchoolNet assessment. And I have included everything that you need today. I also included Venus since you didn't have access yesterday, and I know that you weren't able to write in it. So I went ahead and added those again. Make sure you're doing your best, and remember, I want you to tell me your favorite part of this video and your favorite dinosaur. And Monday, I'm going to tell you what your little special surprise is. I hope you have a wonderful day, boys and girls, and I will see you in a few hours. Have a great day, boys and girls. Bye.